well, Russia is a particular country, and we have some particular features. So in Russia, it's very popular social network is ВКонтакте. So we'll say a few words about it later. And Facebook. So as we see around the globe, Facebook is the dominant social network with almost 1.2 billion people there, so it's almost a country. 96%, like the 96 of original users of Facebook living in the United States. It's obvious because it's an American social network. It's extremely popular in Europe and in Northern Africa. But it's interesting to mention that in some countries of Africa, they do not use any social network. But the other particular feature about like Asian countries, that they have their own social networks, like China or Pakistan and this country, whatever. As for Facebook, there are some considerations that some countries like Egypt, Libya, India, China, of course, they try to limit access to Facebook because they consider it to be the hostile. They say it's an American propaganda. So that is why they try to limit the access. The other particular feature that, well, personally, I think it's amazing from my point of view, that if we look on a former Soviet Union, do you remember what the first social network was in Russia? What the first social network was? Or as you say in Russia, одноклассники. Michael, it's very long word, say одноклассники. Classmates. As you see, ВКонтакте and actually classmates, they're popular in former Soviet Union countries for one particular reason. For more and more companies go to одноклассники and they create their accounts and they promote the одноклассники because this social network is growing. It has been growing for 5 years now and reached the total amount of users, 145 million if I'm not mistaken. The other particular feature about the social network that in former Soviet Union countries, like in Tajikistan or in Uzbekistan, in Turkmenistan, they do not have proper access to the internet. But they have free access to mobile internet. So if you buy an iPhone, yeah, I know it sounds stupid, but nevertheless, if you buy iPhone in Tajikistan, or you buy Samsung Galaxy in Tajikistan or Uzbekistan, they provide you free access to одноклассники. That is why there are so many guys from Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, whatever, in this social network. And if you promote your company to former Soviet Union countries, одноклассники is the best place to go. So as you see, Facebook is the dominant social network now, and Twitter, of course. There are some more social networks that actually appeared last year, for example, Pinterest, or Pinterest, LinkedIn, but they're not so popular in Russia. So how connected is Russia? So if we have a look on this infographic, we see that 99% of the Russian population owns a mobile device. So every particular Russian, well, some of them has 2 mobile phones, some of them has only 1, but nevertheless, now it's more easier to have an access to internet, and there's a way to check these updates in Facebook or ВКонтакте or одноклассники or Twitter. 69.9 million people check internet every day. So it's every 3rd person in Russia. As for age, well, the most active users in internet, of course, it's youth people, so school kids, students, and so-called young professionals. So there's probably the most beloved people in our marketplace. So it's young professionals aged 20-25. So thanks to mobile devices and thanks to cheap internet, we have the access to it all around our great country. And if we see that Russia has the largest amount of internet users. Like if we compare how it grows, yeah, it will be MTS. So yeah, like 69.9 million people, and I think just not so many people stay offline. For example, in ВКонтакте, if you check if you check some groups, you see people age 40, 45, 50 that go to ВКонтакте every day. The other interesting thing, I own digital agencies, so we promote companies in social networks. And well, you know Makfa, right? Makfa, world famous macaroni. Everybody knows Makfa. So we have a group in Одноклассники. It's a group for married women and men in their 40s and 50s. And we have 10 active people in the age of 65. So they check Одноклассники every day and write down some interesting posts. And it's amazing how they try to be active. Internet, they say, is great that they have this access. Moreover, as for Одноклассники, it's popular for people like in the age of 30, 40, and 50 because it has the simple interface. So if we compare with Facebook, Facebook is more complicated. You do not know how to click and where to click. As well, Одноклассники is very simple. Users. According to ВЦИОМ, yeah, I know we have this awful Russian acronyms, ВЦИОМ. Okay, so rating of social networks among Russian internet users, we see this ВКонтакте is among leaders, 62%. One very interesting particular feature, if we talk about Russia, that in the United States or in Europe, normally one person has only one account in one social network, like in Facebook or in journal. In Russia, many users have 3 or 4 accounts. One in Facebook, one in ВКонтакте, one in Twitter, one in Одноклассники. And so one is the main one, so they use it as the main account and a way to communicate with their friends. And the other one just, for fun. Facebook, it's not so popular in Russia, nevertheless it has 16 million users, according to data of 2013, right? It's interesting because Facebook, when they first appeared in Russia, Facebook was in English only. And there is why it was extremely popular among so-called Western-oriented persons or hipsters. And still, Facebook is very popular among residents of big cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg. If we take all Russian users of Facebook as 100%, 62 of them, 60 to be more precise, 60% of them live in Moscow. Others St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, and Vladivostok, if I'm not mistaken. As of ВКонтакте, you may probably find that the school in ВКонтакте is extremely popular among youth. And now they have a new strategy. ВКонтакте aims to Russian communities abroad, Europe, in the United States. As for Twitter, it has 11 million users in Russia. It's popular as communication, like a communication tool, way of communication between users and between companies and users. So as you probably know, many local companies and many old Russian companies, they have their own Twitter account. Well, one of the famous Russian bloggers, Dmitry Medvedev. Okay, some interesting facts. So how social network has been growing in Russia. So Russia is one of the most active social networking countries in Europe. 89% of Russian users have an account on one or more social networking sites. here's the numbers according to the dates of January 2013. It's interesting, however, how many hours spent average Russian user in social networks. So if we compare with other countries, United States is on the top. Particular Russian users spend 16 hours per month in social networks. Well, of course it varies because like if people spend more than most, like you may sit in a classroom and use your iPhone or iPad and just sit and contact and say, oh, преподаватель is very stupid. Yeah, but nevertheless, like the average amount is 16 hours. That's amazing. So yeah, there's the numbers. Yes, for Facebook. The head of Facebook Russia, Yekaterina Skorobogatova, she had election last year in Ekaterinburg and said that Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia, these three countries that well, they witness growth of users every year. These three countries. It's interesting because in China, you have this limited access to Facebook, well, thanks to politicians, but nevertheless. Social media landscape in Russia. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I couldn't find this in English, so I have to translate it to English. So, Russian users use actually both foreign services and Russian services. So like, we have our local Yandex market that's for e-commerce, and we also use eBay. As for bloggers, yeah, we still use LiveJournal. It's extremely popular among users. Yeah, well, of course we use GoTube, but we also have a so-called RootU. Well, Wikipedia, of course, well, Wikipedia. It's always been Wikipedia. As for social networks, Moimir. The other social network is interesting to mention. Moimir is rather, I would say, it's rather strange social network because it appeared in 2007, and there is nothing ever happened there. So, like, if you go there, you just see accounts and with no any conversations inside, with no any dialects. And Одноклассники 2 years ago they bought a new social network, and now it's going to be one huge social network. It's like they forums. Forums are still popular in Russia. It's interesting fact that even on our local websites like p1.ru, you may find like 75 forums of any issues, any topics, from autocars to dating or something like that. So they're still popular in Russia. As for messengers, well, except Skype, the other messengers are not so popular because well, you have messages in Facebook, or you have messages in different contacts. Yeah, and as for Twitter, we have some Russian, let's say, copies of Twitter, like blogging Mail.ru, but they're not so popular as Twitter. There was also an attempt a couple of years ago to create like a Russian Twitter, right? It failed. Good question. Is social media popular?